everyone, welcome to eKnowledge Hub. I am Manjusha and in this video we are going to discuss letter writing for SBI PO and BOB examinations. So it's most important thing to know about what to write and how to write. In SBI PO there is a descriptive paper for 50 marks which contains essay writing and letter writing, and the time allocated is only 30 minutes. So in this 30 minutes you have to write both essay and letter writing. In this video we are focusing on letter writing and essay writing will be discussed in the other video. So now let's begin. We all know that letters are of two types, formal and informal. In examinations there is a chance to get both of the letters. In choice you can choose one. So basically formal letters are written to officials, whereas informal letters are written to FNF, friends and family. Now let me discuss the format of letter writing for formal letters. The first point is sender's address or from address. So when you are writing the letter, begin it with sender's address, and these days we are following American format where all the steps start from extreme left. Everything is left justified, nothing is right justified in American format. So start with sender's address or from address without writing name. Name is not required to be mentioned, so don't write any name. Just go ahead with door number, follow it with your area and city. That would be highly sufficient. Step 2, date line. Immediately after sender's address, we require to write date line. And while writing date line, we can follow any of the two formats, either British or American. In India, we generally follow British format where date comes first, next month and then year. However, we can also use American format where month comes first, next date and then year. Look at this. Step 3. Receiver's address or to address. Just like from address, don't write to. It's not necessary. However, in receiver's address, we require to mention the name. If name is not given, do not write any name. Just mention their designation. When name is given, do use titles appropriately. Mr. for man, Ms. For women, either married or unmarried, we can use Ms. And when you are mentioning the designation instead of name, you have to use definite article the before the designation, like the manager, the editor, the municipal commissioner, the inspector of police. Step 4. What comes next? Subject or salutation? In British format, we write salutation first and then subject. But in American format, we write subject and then salutation. Just remember our email composition. From address, which is already printed, date we not required to mention, with time it will be mentioned, whereas to address is the mail ID which we do type, and immediately we have subject and then only we go for salutation. So follow the same thing just like our mail. So go ahead with subject and then salutation. For subject, you can keep a side heading kind like subject colon or sub dot colon. Basically, the subject is the question. Whatever is given in the question, you can take it as a subject. For example, here, look at this. Write a letter to the municipal commissioner complaining about the irregular supply of water to your area. And now you can take the subject as complaining about the irregular water supply regarding will become appropriate subject. Next, salutation. Salutation is something which is really important to be made. The most inappropriate way people have been using is respected sir. Remember, the word sir itself is respect. Hence we use Sir Isaac Newton. Sir Arthur Cotton. But if you use respected sir, it gives the meaning of respected respect, which is superfluous and redundant. It's not appropriate. Hence, you can write dear sir, dear ma'am, or simply sir or ma'am and place a comma. Step 6. Body. How to write the body of the letter? Remember, body of the letter should contain 3 paras. Yes. The first para stating who and why. Who are you and why are you writing this letter? The second should contain details about the purpose, why. And the third para should contain restating the main point, the purpose, and request or suggest based on the letter. The next, subscription or complimentary closing. Generally, in formal letters, the subscription would be thanking you or thanking you, sir. Thanks for your help. However, for business letters, we can also use by stating, please contact us again. If there are any problems, please contact us. If you have any questions, do not hesitate to revert. So these are the examples of complimentary closing or subscription. As I already told you, for examinations, simple thanking you is enough. The next, superscription and signature. For formal letters, we generally use 4 superscriptions, any one of the 4 superscriptions. 1. Yours faithfully. 2. Yours sincerely. 3. Yours truly. 4. Yours obediently. For whom we have to use yours faithfully and yours sincerely? Remember, if you do not know the person whom you are writing personally, you have to use yours faithfully. If you know the person whom you are writing to, like your manager or your superior, you can use yours sincerely. And for lecturers, professors, teachers, you can use yours obediently. And then follow it with signature or name. So this is the format of formal letter. And now moving on to format of informal letter. Informal letter also carry the same format except for receiver's address and subject. There will not be any receiver's address and subject for informal letters. Otherwise, all the points are same. Starting with sender's address, follow it with date line, next salutation and body of the letter, subscription and superscription with signature. However, the way you proceed is different. So now let us discuss step 1, that is sender's address. Do not write from. If you write, do not put any punctuation marks after that. No full stop, no comma, no colon, no semicolon. Better not to write because you have a word limit of 150 words. Better to avoid unnecessary usage of words. So start with hash, house number and your place and the city. Let us see some examples. The second, date line. As I already told you, you can use either American format or British format, but remember, everything is left justified, not right justified. Next, step 3, receiver's address or to address. Just like from, here also no need to write to. So avoid writing to, and if you write, avoid putting punctuation marks. And here you have to write the name of the receiver or the designation of the receiver, whatever is mentioned in the question. When writing name, do not forget to use titles like Mr. or Ms. Do not use Miss or Mrs. unless it is mentioned in the question. If it is designation, do use definite article the. And now subject. Remember, subject should be only in one line. It's a single line statement which you can generally take from the question, as I already told you before. So whatever given in the question can become your subject with a minor change. So do add regarding either at the beginning or at the end of your statement. And remember, subject will not be there for informal letters. Next, salutation. Salutation for formal letters will be sir, oh, ma'am, or dear sir or dear ma'am. Do not write respected sir. However, salutation for informal letter is different. There you can use dear father, dear mother, dear brother, dear friend or dear Ravi. You can put it a name. But do not use sir or ma'am. Next, body of the letter. Body of the letter contains 3 paras. First one, who and why. Who are you? Why are you writing? So mention who you are and what is the purpose of your writing. Let me give you some openers. I'm writing to you because it can indicate your purpose. Or you can also mention by stating, I am so and so, the resident of so and so place, writing this letter to so and so purpose. Or you can also write this by stating, I am the resident of so and so area and mention your purpose. Sometimes you need to be very polite while writing to your superiors. Then you can mention it by saying, I hope you don't mind my writing to you, but I have to tell you about, mention what you'd like to tell them as a purpose. And for complaint letters, especially when you're complaining about a product to a company or the manufacturer, you can state it by saying, I must inform you that I'm not happy with what you're not happy with. Do mention there. Coming to the second para, do elaborate about your purpose. If you're talking about any missing or complaint letter, do talk about that. For example, here I'm talking about missing of my vehicle and I'm writing a letter to the sub-inspector of police. So after my first para, my second para starts like this. My vehicle is, write the model as well as brand of your vehicle, bearing registration number, write the registration number of your vehicle, and then follow it with specifications of vehicle like color, where you parked, how much time you have spent, and when did you notice that you missed your vehicle and all. If you are writing more than one para as the detailed one, do use some connectivities like firstly, secondly, or if you are talking about counter argument or counter statements, do mention such conjunctions like however, although, moreover, etc. But remember, it's better to give a supporting information about the claim or the statement you made. For example, I believe Italy will win the World Cup because they have extreme fitness and great talent. Here, I offered my backup information. Let me give one more example. If I say 94% of boys got less marks than girls, what do you say? Immediately you say no. No, you can't say that. But if I give my backup, that is my supporting statement by saying, in a recent school survey, 94% of boys got less marks than girls. Now you cannot say no because I have given my backup, my supporting information. Now, last para or para 3. Para 3 basically should state the main point, that is the purpose, and follow it with suggestion or request, whatever your letter demands. So start it by restating your main point in different words. You can also use like to sum up with, but that is for informal letters. But for formal letters, we don't use to sum up with. We generally restate and suggest or request for a plan of action. However, for informal letters, it's all different. It depends upon you how you would like to communicate and how you would like to end that letter. Let me give you some start tips for writing your paras. Formal letters are of 2 types. 1, official letter. 2, application letter. Official letters are the letters which we write to officials, newspaper editor or the manager or the municipal commissioner, the sub-inspector of police or any other higher officials. But application letters are the letters which you generally write to apply for a post or seek or take permission, such things. For example, write a letter to a manager applying for the post of, they mention whatever the post, that is an application letter. Write a letter to the HR accepting the job offer. Here you have to write an acceptance letter. Write a letter to the manager requesting him to postpone the date of joining. Here you have to be very clear and write in such a way that the other person will be convinced with your reason. Sometimes you have to write a letter to reject the call letter or job offer. So it's all up to you how you'll take them. So for such application letters, how to start your first para? Look at this. With reference to your advertisement in the Hindu newspaper dated so and so, I would like to apply for the post of so and so. So do mention that clearly. Or you can also write it by stating your letter dated 23rd of July made me write this or made me apply for the post of something like that. Or you can also state it your phone call today, or as per our discussion on phone call, I would like to proceed further with the business deal. Something like that for business. If you wanted to reply for the letter which you received previously with the job offer, first state it by saying, thank you for the letter dated, mention the date and follow it with your words. And when you're writing a business letter, especially for inquiry or something like that, use these starters. Basically, this is mentioning the reason for your writing. I'm writing to inquire about what you wanted to mention, what you wanted to inquire, put it there. I'm writing this letter to apologize for, so do put your apologies. Or you can also write it by saying, I'm writing this letter to confirm what you would like to confirm to proceed with further. If you want to make a request, make it by saying, could you possibly what you want them to do? Mention it. Or, I would be grateful if you could help me with what you want them to do. Mention that carefully. This is for asking for request. And now, if you want to agree to your request, then you can start by saying, I would be delighted to help you with what they asked for. When you have to give some bad news, give it by stating, unfortunately, what is the bad news? Or, I'm afraid that, what? Mention it clearly. Now moving on to subscription. As I told you, subscription. For formal letters, just go with thanking you. For informal letters, you cannot go with thanking you. So it's better to convey by stating, convey my regards to your parents and best wishes to your sister or siblings or brother. Or if you're writing to your father or mother, mention that, convey my regards to mom or dad. Now moving on to superscription. Yours faithfully is for unknown persons. Yours sincerely is for known persons. Yours obediently is for the teachers, professors, lecturers, etc. But for informal letter, we cannot write it like this, right? So generally, we write yours affectionately, yours lovingly, yours loving son, yours loving daughter, etc. Finally, write your initials or sign if you are making it as a real life letter. So that is how and what you have to do with letter writing. And do manage your time. Just give 15 minutes, not more than that, for letter writing and 20 minutes for essay writing. I'll be discussing model letters in the next video. Till then, keep practicing. Have a nice day.